Hello.
Hello, sir.
Uh,
How are you, sir? I'm
yeah,
Dandapani.
I'm good, but I am not able to see your picture.
Yeah, my video is not working. I'm just trying it out.
Okay. But anyway, I was worried that there's something wrong, but it is working. It's working. Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Okay. But anyway, I was worried that there's something wrong, but it is working. It's working. Very good.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now I can see. Yeah. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine,
Seeing
sir.
you after a long time. So nice of you to arrange this meeting. I look forward with keen interest.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The professor is in India only, right? So no
Yeah, yes, sir.
problem.
Yes, sir.
No time problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Dr. Dandapani, are you also working with working for this AI?
Yeah, yes, sir. Not so much, but we are
Okay,
just trying out
but
with.
some of your students might be doing it.
Yes, sir. I had one student from SIFE, Mumbai.
Oh.
So with her, we try to estimate the weight based on the images, length and weight.
Actually, after this meeting, I will contact you. I am very keen to use the AI for national accounts data, economic data of national accounts for change of the base year. They say data is not available, data is not available, data will never be available, will be available. So some mix of the data and AI, that kind of thing I want somebody to help me for
Okay.
work. So if there's a possibility, you can keep in mind.
Okay, sir. Okay.
This is your office or home?
Home, sir. Home, sir. My home.
Your home is also looking like office home.
Nowadays, ICR is having 5 days a week, sir.
Oh, so today is holiday. Oh.
Yes, yes.
Hello, Dandapani.
Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm very well. Hi, Dr. Kulshrestha. How are you?
Good morning, good morning. So you were right. It was not started now.
Yes,
I
I
think,
knew that it was to start at 11:15.
yeah,
Our
yeah. So
Dandapani is very, very punctual. You can correct your watches.
yeah. So you are right. No, no, it was before 11:15.
Good to see very our old friends after a very long time.
Yes.
This is a very good opportunity to meet everyone online. I mean, virtual meeting.
No, virtually good enough. You can see very clearly the faces and talk.
Yes, but
भाई तुम्हारा फोन है
Dandapani, where is the chief host?
Vishal, you are asking?
Yeah, your co-host.
Vishal. Oh, Dr. Nandram has joined, sir. Yeah.
Who?
Dr. Balgopin Nandram.
Oh, great. Where is he?
मैं तो अपना फोन यहाँ से ले जाऊँ it is disturbing me in my work.
Yeah, good morning. Good evening to you, Bal.
Good morning. Yeah.
Yeah,
Morning.
it's good evening. It's a late evening actually for you.
Yeah, it's 2 and it's 10 to 2 in the morning.
Yeah, well, your video is not on, I think.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I can't see
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I just woke up
Hi,
actually.
Bal. Hi, how do you do?
Okay.
Good to see you virtually.
Hmm. Yeah.
It must be now your midnight, 1:30 or so. 1:30
Oh,
in the
Six
night.
minutes to 2.
It's close to. Yeah.
6 minutes to 2, yeah.
See, Dr. Kulsrestha.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is
We
the
should get some motivation. I mean, our young generation people should get some motivation.
yes, yes.
Eh,
Yes, you must be at the East Coast. Hmm?
East
Yeah.
Coast, yeah.
Mm.
Ah, because West will be another 1.5 hours.
Dr. Kulsrestha, this is Dr. Bal Gobind Dhanram. I don't know whether you know him or not. He is attending our conferences now very regularly. I mean,
Oh,
we
I see, I see, I
our
see.
conferences three, four
Only,
times.
only I have become irregular now. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah. So that's why I'm introducing him to him. To
Yeah,
you.
good.
He
Now
is
we will
he,
meet continuously.
he is an authority on small area estimation like J.N.K. Rao.
Oh,
He does a lot of Bayesian in this small area estimation and then using representative and non-representative samples. I mean the randomized and non-randomized samples.
yeah. So after losing Hukum Chand, I think we have to depend on him.
Yeah, he has been a very. I mean, Hukum was very closely related to him.
Oh, yeah.
He's my
I
good
really
friend, yeah. Well, you come as my good friend. I started to come to the ISRI because of Hukum, yeah.
Hukum, yes,
Yeah.
Hukum brought him to ISRI first time. Yes.
Yeah, there is a lot of demand of small area in India, so in official system as well. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Dr. Kulshet,
anyway,
let me tell about you also to him. Dr. Bal, this Dr. A.C. Kulshrestha, he has retired from statistical office. He was holding the top position and he is an authority on national accounts.
Let's see.
So,
Very nice.
so you have a common interest because you also go
Mhm.
to that USDA office.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yeah.
Another thing is that I'm very young. I'm just 80 years young. You can.
Sir, the speaker has
नमस्कार सर
joined, sir.
नमस्कार
Namaskar,
नमस्कार
sir. The speaker
ऑल ऑफ
has
यू
joined.
नमस्कार
Wish-
अरे राव
Welcome, sir.
साहब
Welcome.
नमस्कार
नमस्कार सर
कैसे
माय
हो
रेस्पेक्टेड प्रोफेसर
so
गुप्ता सर
nice to see you after a long time
यस सर यस नाइस मीटिंग यू हैव नॉट चेंज्ड
So you, I was going to say this thing, and you you took the words out of my mouth.
Hi, Vishal, Dr. Vishal.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
How are
Good morning
you?
to everyone.
Good morning. You're shining like.
Yeah, I think Vishal has a lot of work to do because he's now losing his hair.
And he has a lot of work to do in ICMR also.
That's what I'm saying. The DG doesn't spare him at all.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So you are holding that ICMR chair still?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I also taken over the IIP. There is PHFI, which is in Hyderabad. The
Yeah, I know that.
branch got the deemed university.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
But
So
not
I'm
don't
I'm
tell
I'm
me
holding both, but
that.
I'm sticking to ICMR chair more.
That's why I asked you that with vice chancellor position. I mean, are you continuing as
Yeah,
chairperson?
1 year I may continue for it.
Okay.
Dr. Saket has joined, sir.
Where is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
hi.
morning, Dr. Saket. I am VK Gupta.
Good morning, Dr. VK Gupta. Nice
Yeah,
to meet
Dr.
So
Saket.
nice of you
It
to
is.
have you with us.
No,
Yeah.
it's a pleasure. Thank you for the invitation, and very happy to chair. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you are welcome. We welcome you heartily to our family of Society of Statistics, Computer and Applications.
Thank you.
You will find it very interesting and doing some good dissemination work.
No, totally. I fully agree. I think I'm also looking forward to the talk. Actually, it's a very interesting and a very needed talk in these times.
Yes.
So, sir, Dr. Saket is also part of the National Disease Modeling Consortium. He has been working on antimicrobial resistance with Kamni ma'am, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. He's working. He's working with the tough people with the tough subject.
Yes. Most difficult part
Yeah,
is burden estimation for AMR.
I know. Yes. Very nice. Nice meeting you, Dr. Saket.
Thank you, Dr. Rao. Yeah, likewise. Looking forward to your talk.
So, thank
Are you
you.
based in right now? Are you in Hyderabad right now, or?
Yeah. But I'll be frequently visiting ICMR.
Okay.
Because I am also chair of ICMR.
Right.
But I'm living in Hyderabad since a year. Before that, I was in Delhi.
Delhi, right.
You are not retired from ICMR, right?
Sir, NIN, NIMS, sorry.
Acha,
ICMR NIMS.
I see.
He was the
Mr.
director of NIMS. He was director of NIMS, और इन्होंने
No,
हमारे
not
को
not the position of Padam Singh.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So इन्होंने
Padam Singh, Arvind Pandey.
I know all these people, but maybe I have not met you in my memory. I don't know. Must have met you.
अरे good morning, Dr. Padam Singh. Nice to see you.
Yeah, very good morning.
Sir,
Ah,
namaskar.
Namaskar.
Namaskar,
you
sir.
will, Dr. Padam Singh, you will live 100 years. I was just talking about you and you are there.
Yes. I could
Good
hear
morning,
that.
Dr. Bhatia.
Yeah, I'm little nervous in front of many luminaries we have joined.
But they are all, I mean, promoters of the discipline. And
Yeah.
Dr. Padam Singh is, I mean, what do I call him? He has been a agricultural statistician, then a policy maker planner, and then medical statistics and whatnot. And so he has the whole gamut under his control.
Yes.
With foundation at IARS,
Yes.
So,
You were president of the Indian Society of Agricultural Statistics till yesterday. Only today you have changed.
yeah.
I think we can, sir,
Yeah,
wait
we
for
can
a
start.
couple of
Yes.
minutes and
Yeah,
then start.
we can start. So, Vishal, how do we do? Should I speak for 1 or 2 minutes and welcome everybody, and then I hand it over to you?
Yes, sir, sure. Yeah.
So, I think we make a beginning of this session. Good morning to each one of you who has joined this particular session. Uh, a warm welcome to each one of you, particularly to one or two who have joined from North America. And it's midnight there, 2:30 a.m. in the morning.
Oh,
It's really a wonderful to, it's really a great pleasure to see them joined here, particularly Professor Bal Gobind Nandaram, who is always very keen to attend such talks. So, a great big welcome to each one of you. Particularly, my welcome to the speaker, Dr. M. Vishnuvardhan Rao, who happens to be the Vice Chancellor of the Indian Institute of Public Health, Hyderabad, which is an educational arm of the renowned Public Health Foundation of India and dedicated to advancing public health through high quality education, research, and policy support. He also holds the ICMR chair in medical statistics, and prior to that, he was also the director of National Institute of Medical Statistics of the ICMR. And Dr. Padam Singh happens to be his senior there. He also was the uh, director there, and then he became the additional senior additional director general of the ICMR also. So it's a great pleasure, Dr. Rao, to welcome you for this talk.
Thank you,
And
sir.
we are looking forward to your very interesting talk. I also welcome Dr. Saket Chaudhary, who is the core faculty. Presently, he is the core faculty at Koita Center for Digital Health at IIT Mumbai. He has a very wide, coverage of disciplines throughout his career. He started from chemical engineering, a graduate and a postgraduate in chemical engineering. Then he moved to statistics, then to computer science, and then to computational biology and bioinformatics. So he has a broad spectrum of, experience with him. So he is going to chair the session today. Uh, this program is being organized under the aegis of the Society of Statistics, Computer and Applications. This is a society which was founded way back in 1998 to to felicitate late M. N. Das on his 82nd birthday. I think it was 82nd birthday around that time. So this society was formed in 1998. Its first conference was held in 1998 at the Chaudhry Charan Singh HAU Hisar University there. And then since then we have been having regular conferences, and we shall have our 28th annual conference in January 2026 at the Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune. Besides this, holding regular conferences at various places in the country. We also organize such type of seminars, workshops, and these type of activities throughout the year. The basic purpose is to motivate our young researchers towards statistical sciences. The basic idea is to promote them to statistical sciences. The basic goal of this society is the expansion and the dissemination of the knowledge in statistical sciences. And we try to do such activities regularly on in our society. The society also runs a journal which is known as the Statistics and Applications. This journal also started in the year 1999, and now we are running into the 23rd volume of the journal. This journal is now Scopus indexed, and it is an impact factor journal now. Uh, we bring out two issues per volume. We bring out some special issues also. And in 24 December, we brought out a special issue in the fond memories of late C.R. Rao, which was dedicated to him. The title of that journal was Life and Work of C.R. Rao from 1920 to 2023, the revolutionary of statistical sciences. So these type of activities are also very common in our journal. So we do have several of the special issues, but we have also regular issues coming. And the journal is now globally accepted. We do get many international papers also from outside the country. So this is about the society and the journal. The talk is today is statistics in the era of AI and big data, relevance, evaluation, and challenges. It just so happens that we have our special issue of the journal for 2026 June, which has a similar type of theme, which talks of recent advances in Bayesian statistics and machine learning. And the guest editors for this are Durba Bhattacharya, Saurish Bhattacharya, and Saurish Das. Saurabh Bhattacharya and Saurish Das. These three are the guest editors of this journal, this special issue. So, with this brief mentioning about the society and its activities, I once again welcome each one of you to this seminar. Hope you will enjoy this seminar. And I will now hand over the floor to Dr. Vishal Deo and Dr. Dandapani to conduct the proceedings further. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. So, good morning to all the dignitaries present here. Thank you so much for finding time out on a Saturday. And before I hand over the session to the chair, I would like to give formal introduction to the speaker and the chair. So our speaker today, our beloved Dr. M. Vishnuvardhan Rao, he is currently the honorary vice chancellor of the Indian Institute of Public Health, Hyderabad, which is deemed to be university, and is also holding ICMR chair for medical statistics. He was formerly the director of the ICMR National Institute of Medical Statistics, New Delhi, the institute where I am there. Dr. Padan Singh is there. Dr. Geeta ma'am has also joined. So all of us have roots in that institute. It has been now expanded. The mandate of that institute has been expanded. It is called National Institute for Research in Digital Health and Data Science. And today's talk also contains a lot of relevance in that change which we have seen and how statistics should be adapting to such changes. Sir is a trained mathematical statistician and data scientist, holds a MSc Statistics, PhD in Statistics, and also MTech in IT. Dr. Rao has over 3.5 decades of experience in planning, executing, and analyzing data for numerous large-scale community and clinical research studies in the domains of nutrition and health. His research focuses on the development and application of innovative and appropriate statistical methods for analyzing large and complex data sets. His work also encompasses several evidence-based and policy-relevant research studies. Dr. Rao previously served as the head of the Artificial Intelligence Cell at ICMR and was an administrator for the Clinical Trial Registry of India, which is a free online public record system for registering clinical trials conducted in India and has been mandated by the Drugs Controller General of India. He has also served as an international consultant for UNICEF, with about 150 publications in national and international journals and 20 reports to his credit. Dr. Rao has significantly contributed to the field of public health. He has guided numerous postgraduate students towards obtaining PhD degrees in areas such as multivariate data analysis, meta-analysis, and statistical methods in AI and big data analytics. He has played pivotal role in releasing the national guidelines for data quality in surveys and also the ethical guidelines for the application of artificial intelligence in biomedical research and healthcare. He is the recipient of several prestigious honors, including the National Oration Award for the National Academy of Medical Sciences and Fellowship of the National Academy of Medical Sciences, among others. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And Dr. Saket Chaudhary, I met him personally just a few months back. We were visiting IIT Bombay. It was such a nice interaction with him, knowing about the kind of work they are doing at the Quetta Center for Digital Health at IIT Bombay. So that Dr. Saket Chaudhary is a core faculty at the Quetta Center for Digital Health at IIT Bombay. His research integrates computational tools and statistical methodologies to address challenges in genomics, systems biology, and public health. Prior to joining KCDH, he was a postdoc fellow in the Satija lab at the New York Genome Center, where he worked on developing statistical models for normalization of single-cell RNA sequence data. Originally trained in chemical engineering at IIT Bombay, he went on to complete an MS in computer science and statistics, followed by a PhD in computational biology and bioinformatics at the University of South California in 2020. His lab at the KCDH IIT Bombay develops and maintains a variety of open source software tools for analyzing transcriptomics data. In addition, he is actively engaged in public health informatics with a particular focus on disease burden estimation for antibiotic resistance. His research interests extend to understanding the impact of environmental factors on health outcomes, with a particular focus on the influence of climate change on disease, birth, and mortality patterns in India. He's also a member of the National Disease Modeling Consortium at IIT Bombay, where he's leading the efforts on modeling the burden of antimicrobial resistance, which is among the most critical public health concerns facing India today. We welcome you, Dr. Saket Chaudhary, and we hand over the session to you for further deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Deo. Thank you, Dr. Gupta. It's a pleasure to be part of this esteemed group and esteemed panel. And we live in very interesting times. We have access to large language models where you can ask questions and you can get answers. It is something which all of us have probably played around with, probably have done some sort of search. What we don't understand probably is at the underlying sense of all these things, all while this is big data in the era of AI, at the underlying impact of it is all statistics, right? That's where the story begins. And that brings me to the talk today, which is going to focus on what do we make out of statistics in this interesting era of AI and big data. So I'm very much looking forward to Dr. Vishnu's talk. And with that, I'll hand over the mic to him, and we can get started. Very much looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Shall I share the file, Dr. Vishal?
Yes, sir. That will be good. Yes, sir.
So while Dr. Vishnu is sharing his file, just some housekeeping. If you have questions, please feel free to put them on chat. And at the end, maybe we can ask you to unmute yourself and ask questions. Thank you.
Is it visible, Dr. Vishal?
Yes, sir. It is visible. Yeah, great. It's visible.
Shall I continue?
Yeah.
Yes, please, sir.
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah. I'm just organizing it. Yeah, thank you very much for considering me for this very important lecture. I'm really elated to be, and also a little nervous because most of my mentors and luminaries are on the line. Dr. V.K. Gupta ji, Professor V.K. Gupta ji, Dandapani ji, and my young colleague, Dr. Vishal, and of course, Dr. Saket, the chairman. He is actually right person and the right combination he has to talk about this title. And also Dr. Padam Singh, who was, and he is my mentor, not only since I joined in ICMR setup, say 2000 onwards. And thank you, sir, for coming to this important seminar, and Kulasreshta ji, and also my colleague Dr. Geeta Menon, who is, am I able to see her? Welcome to that, and all the people who are mostly online. And thank you very much again. And my title goes like this: Statistics in the era of AI and big data: Relevance, Evolution, and Challenges. So, why statistics again? I mean, gone into a very important and position now with the AI and big data, but they use statistics in a different way. How they use it, we'll just go through this. So generally, if you torture the data long enough, it will confess to anything. So that's what we used to tell about statistics previously. Now it is so with AI and big data. They go on torturing, they go on fitting the models, build, rebuild, and finally they are coming to some conclusions of the model. So therefore, you should be clever enough when you're doing that, uh, that kind of things. So how many think that this is right? How many think that this is wrong? So therefore, you should be clever enough to identify the problems. Like if you know only algebra, it is right. If you know algebra as well as trigonometry, it is wrong. Therefore, while applying AI, also you should be very clever enough to undertake the analysis. So if you see, I think the very stalwarts, I can say that stalwarts starting from 1920, 30 onwards. So they have started with hypothesis testing, and now it is evidence-based medicine meta-analysis. And at that time, they were using conventional statistics, and now it is advanced modeling and multivariate statistics. Small competitions using some small calculators at the time to AI and big data analytics. This is the transformation the statistics has taken over a period of 50 years or 60 years. So now statistics has become so vulnerable for everyone. People are shying away to tell that I am a statistician. Then if you ask anyone, what are you? I am a data scientist. Very simply they say that. But I can tell you that if you are not a good statistician, you cannot be a good data scientist. How? I'll come and tell you. So I just give a small example. A physicist, an engineer, and a statistician are on a hunting trip. They are walking through the woods when they spot a deer in the clearing. The physicist calculated the distance and used his physical principles, and and he dropped the bullet. The engineer also looked frustrated. You forgot to account for the wind, and he counted for the wind, and again he shot the bullet, and it has left. I mean, it is missed by the. It has hit the deer in the right side, whereas the physicist one hit the deer in the left side. Then, without doing anything, the statistician very laughingly and loudly told, "Yeah, I have got the answer." What is statistician does? Left plus right by two is left plus right by two is center, which he has estimated and he says is correct. But now that concept has been relatively changed now too. Being precisely perfect and average can mean being actually wrong each time. Machine learning science had different goals from statistics, whereas statistics emphasizes being correct on average, whereas AI goal was an operational effectiveness. That's what AI does now. If you see the first step towards the development of statistics in the modern form, even they did not think that the one which they have invented or they solved the problems could be used for the AI and big data very effectively, enormously. They even the Gauss did not have thought of it, did not think about it. So generally, we use the Gaussian distribution when we repeat an experiment numerous times and average our results, the random variable representing the average. That is the I'm sorry, standard definition. So many physical characteristics tend to follow normal distribution like height, weight, so on and so forth. But now the uses and interpretation of AI, they also use extensively the normal distribution. Mainly, AI algorithms assume that data follows a normal distribution or can be transformed into a resembling fit of it. Helps in detecting outliers, support feature scaling, and normalization. These are for these tasks, even AI and big data experts use this. And the man, the Pearson correlation, actually, this has actually reverberated, especially in the medical science, where they want to see the relation between two sets of data and which was effectively used even now. So there is a positive correlation, negative correlation, strong average. Those are the things which the theory says. But how the application in AI and big data? It discovers the patterns in the data. If they are related, what to do. If they are not, what to do. Correlation helps in linear models and feature engineering. Identify factors influencing outcome. For example, especially I came from a healthcare research. Healthcare correlation between blood sugar levels and BMI can be indicated a risk factor. So based on that, I can build the models. And this is the student t-test, which everyone knows that. So without most of the doctors, 60% of their analysis they use and the student you test to compare two groups of their experiment is significant or not, or pre and post they have any significance or not. So on and so forth. They do the t-test there. But coming to R.A. Fishers, who is, we consider him a father of statistics. So his contributions not only helped statistics at that time, now his contributions are extensively used. Without that, there is no AI. In fact, I can tell that. For example, these TX, test, F-test, chi-score are conventionally used, but especially his linear discriminant function analysis, which we call LDA, is extensively used. I think anyone can see this as a supervised learning, of which we call it. What is a supervised learning? How they named it, I'm coming to subsequent slides. So this linear discriminant function analysis is extensively used for the supervised learning in AI and machine learning. Then comes to Mahalanobis. Even Mahalanobis did not think that his Mahalanobis D square was so much used in, especially in the AI now. He just solved that problem for his anthropometric data to identify the distances between set of anthropometric variables between the individuals. But now that Mahalanobis D square, without that, there is no pattern recognition. Without pattern recognition, there is no unsupervised learning. Therefore, that D square, even he might not have thought of that his D square becomes so important, so relevant now in this modern era of computing. I think you know this man. He's the man, culmination of all those people whom I just referred. So his research encompasses everything, including distances, including linear discriminant function, including Bayesian networks. These Bayesian networks are is mostly used, and without that, there is no deep learning. So this is the way the statistics has, placed the very background or backbone of any artificial intelligence or machine learning. Then, as per WHO guidelines, AI systems must be carefully designed to reflect the diversity of socioeconomic and healthcare settings and be accompanied by training in digital skills, community engagement, etc. So I just give some statistics. Today, 30% of the data is healthcare data, and by 2025, by the end of this year, it might reach to 36% or the. So to gain the trust required broader adoption, AI in healthcare must follow responsible use of data, functional competence, transparency, etc. So and also in Indian scenario, data and AI healthcare have the potential to add about 25 to 30 billion dollars by the end of this year as a GDP. The pace of innovation in healthcare will continue to accelerate in coming years. The integration of AI in healthcare in India has been seen as a key technology towards improving the efficiency, quality, cost, etc. ICMR, MIT, DST, IITs, and many top tier organizations are working on that. Patient care and experience, operations and R&D are top priorities for AI implementation. The statistics we are not getting it, but today also the what you call the spending on healthcare will increase by 48% to 50% by the end of 2025. So if you see the areas of impact, it has so many areas of impact in, especially in the health, where diagnostics, clinical decisions, chronic care management, etc. And the AI and ML solutions, so many solutions are available as a apps like heart disease 63%, diabetes 66%. And only thing is we have to check for the veracity. So as Vishal is saying, a digital health mobile apps, almost 47% booking appointments, 42% managing prescriptions, etc., is being used now. Top 10 healthcare trends for, in 2022, artificial intelligence 18%, Internet of Medical Things 17%, so on and so forth. So if we see AI in healthcare growth potential, India has enormous growth potential in coming decade by 2030. So we may get in almost 30 to 40 billion dollars of industry of healthcare by 2030. So now we are just used to the conventional data, and whatever the data we have variables, and we write down the analysis plan and write. But now the data explosion and big data, not only were surveys, but also open source. So therefore, the Clive Humby, a British mathematician, coined the phrase, data is the new oil. You all know that oil-rich Gulf nations transformed from camel to Cadillac car. 60 years back, were going by camels. Now each house has 5 to 6 Cadillac cars because they have got the oil and they can sell that and get a lot of money. Similarly, coming decade, whichever country has the cleaned data, refined data, that country will be the richest country by 2030 or 2035. So if we see conventionally, how do you clean the data when you are doing a survey? Generally, we follow some kind of a criteria. If there is a total variation and total error, that can be distributed into both non-sampling error and sampling error. So non-sampling error may be systematic or variable, and sampling error arises because of the wrong design as well as the wrong sample size calculation. So these are the two types of errors we use to control and we use to rectify if possible. So I give a funny example how systematic error arises. So the error which comes systematically. For example, I give a doctor and patient conversation. A doctor says to the patient, you have a very serious disease. Of 10 persons who get this disease, only one survives. But do not worry, it is lucky you came to me, for I have recently had 9 patients with this disease and they all died of it. So people will not die like that. 1 to 9 will die, 10 will survive. No, people die randomly. So therefore, this is a kind of a systematic error. And coming to instrument error, suppose your validation of, for example, you take hemoglobin estimation. There are two methods. One is the standard venous method. Another is the what you call finger prick kind of a HemoQ method. So therefore, what they found was in the HemoQ method, which is generally used for the field surveys, has a constantly doing underestimating some amount of hemoglobin. Because of that, the hemoglobin was underestimated. Means the hemoglobin is overestimated. Anemia is overestimated. Hemoglobin is underestimated because the 5 to 10% anemia is being overestimated. That's what the literature says. So therefore, that is also a kind of a non-sampling error. If we see this sampling error, maybe because of the calculation of sample size or the design, whatever it is. I have found a very funny example in a book. It says that the cure rate of a drug is 33%, means 1/3. So what they gave the statements are 1/3 of the mice used in the experiment were cured with a test drug. Fine. So another 1/3, the 33% of the test population were unaffected by the drug and remained in the moribund condition. And the third one is the third mouse got away. So here, how much is the sample size? Sample size is only 3. Out of that, one is in moribund, one has got cured. Based on that, if you say 33% is the cure rate, you are misguiding. So this is called a sampling error or sample size error. Then, so how do you rectify that? So generally we go with these 7 points. As far as the data is concerned, we want a good data, pure data, clean data for subsequent applications in AI. So how good is the data? Purpose, preparatory analysis. What happened to the data? Descriptive analysis. Why and when it happened? Diagnostic analysis. How did it happen? Cause-related analytics. What will happen? Predictive analytics. How can we improve? Prescriptive analysis. How confident can we be? Reliability based analysis. So these are some of the 7 steps we generally use to even post survey data. We try to minimize the errors so that the error rate will come down. So based on that, so what we have done is ICMR NIMS, we have formed a group, National Data Quality Forum, and we created or we brought out a book called National Data Quality Guidelines. This is freely available in the web, either in the ICMR website or in the Google. We just download this and read like a novel. So what are the guidelines you have to follow for conducting especially nutrition and health service? Fine. Now coming to the very buzzword, everybody talk about AI and big data, even you don't know, people are fond of telling about AI and big data. So if you see, for every day, each day, this much data has been generated, 2.5 quintillions of data, bytes of data has been generated every day. This is the magnitude of data. If we say 1 minute, how much data is being generated. Almost 18-20 terabytes of data will be generated within a minute every day. You can count how much data, how to store that data and all. So 98,000 tweets, 7 lakh status reports, 7 lakh searches, 11 million instants, so on and so forth. So this is the magnitude of open source per a second. For 1 minute, 18-20 terabytes of data is being generated. So what is a big data? There is a definition. Fine. So it provides streamlined decision making. The decision making is based on what which is done. This is okay, fine. So if you see, you just don't worry about this. Generally, if the data has the core ingredients, has a volume of data, but volume of data is not the main ingredient, because nowadays you have got the PCs which are enormous volume. You can fit millions of data without any problem. But volume is one thing, and velocity is the second thing. The data which you have, a big volume of data, how you can distribute that in a faster way, and variety. So variety, I am coming later in the stage, and veracity. So these are the four main. There are five also. So basically, we have been we use it for structured data. Even now, it is 80%, 90% of the data is structured. But the advantage of big data concepts are it can also read and convert to structured as unstructured data, quasi-structured data, or semi-structured data. Especially this text data, natural language processing kind of a thing. And also that is very important because some of the data will not be very structured. Yeah, for that data, we just mostly will either ignore or we don't do analysis. So this is the advantage. You can convert that structured, unstructured to structured. So that is where the big data has an advantage for converting unstructured to structured. So these are some of the systems which big data can be used, but I think many people are learning now. These are the things. Fine. So what are the types of big data? How do you go about it? The type of question also in the big data, what happened to the data? You will ask, you do for a descriptive, why that phenomena is occurring. You go for a diagnostic kind of a thing. And what is likely to happen in the future? You go predictive analysis and data-driven decision in the face of uncertainty and deployed strategies. You go for a prescriptive analysis. So these are different types of statistical analysis which can be applied by big data techniques. And finally, for coming to the descriptions. So this has been coupled with artificial intelligence, the big data. So the former Secretary of Defense, US, Donald Rumsfeld once said, when can we machines are poor in prediction? So he defined that three kind of a phases, or three kinds of cases. Known knowns. With rich data, machine prediction can work well. Known unknowns. We know our predictions will be relatively poor in situations where we do not have much data. Unknown unknowns. If something has never happened before, mission cannot predict or can never predict, at least without human careful judgment. Therefore, there is no single right answer to the question which is the best strategy. Researchers are predicting that familiarity with machine learning tools for analyzing big data will be a fundamental requirement for the next generation. I am telling physician because I'm medical, for any kind of a research you want. So now I'm coming to that, how cleverly the AI and big data and computer people taken away all the nomenclature and the research or techniques of statistics and renamed it. How? For example, we call in estimation statistics estimation. They call as a learning. We call hypothesis. They call classifier. We call data point. They call example or instance. We call regression. They call supervised learning. We call classification. They call again supervised learning. We call covariate. They call feature. Response. They call label. PCA, principal component or cluster analysis. They call as unsupervised learning. Discriminant function analysis. They call supervised learning. So the machine learning, which using the statistics, exactly the technique which statistics defined or derived, but they renamed it so that it will not, sometimes it may not confuse, or because this is a new business, we should have some catchy names which they have done. So suppose someone say the classifier, there's nothing but hypothesis. Someone says supervised learning, they definitely must have used the regression analysis. This is the relation between the statistics and machine learning. And also, why these things are very important. So, in the statistical modeling, machine learning less assumptions, statistical modeling is more mathematical based, subfield of computer science, subfield of mathematics, uses algorithms, uses equations, can range from small to large set of data. Mostly small sets of data was used. Minimum human effort, minimal human effort, but you should have a lot of you because you will be doing the analysis. Strong predictive ability, best estimate we call. So if you see just the exploring the historical journey of artificial intelligence, maybe the enigma is broken in 1942, but in 1955, the father of AI, John McCarthy, actually the concept of AI has been popularized from then onwards. Now, you know that now where we reach to chat GPT and whatnot. So everything is actually in threat. So the chat GPT almost people almost got used and got addicted to chat GPT. So models of performance report in artificial intelligence accuracy measures how well a model correctly predicts outcome. Precision, proportion of true positives predicted among positive predictors. Basically, this is positive predictive value. Recall, proportion of true positives predictions among actual positives. This is generally equivalent to sensitivity. F1 score is the combination of both, which is the harmonic mean of precision and recall that will balance the metrics. So these are the four actually methods which they measure the performance of AI model after they test and train the model. So if at all the precision and the recall is say more than 90% people say that it is a very good strong model. Otherwise the model may not be replicated, something like that. So this is equivalent to what we have seen is equivalent to we used to do hypothesis testing in statistics. Then these are the battery of things which any statistician, at least 60%, 7 to 8 of these, if the statistician learns and thorough, I think no one can beat him. In fact, in terms of AI, because he has the backbone of the statistical knowledge and methodology and the front bone and the front line of these techniques which would help him to predict the models using AI or big data. So you should have two languages, one database, and one front end things. So one server, these kind of things, if at all someone knows, someone learn, but nowadays it's not very difficult. There are so many online has come, people online have come, and also there are many training centers. But statistician, if he wants to be a good data scientist, then he should learn at least 4 to 6 of these things which I have shown. So if you see the AI and ML, how this is being just a minute. Yeah. So I can put it as a wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3, like COVID. So wave 1, human only activity at that time, because this has got a judgment, creating, empathize, and lead. So everything is human related and human intervention. The wave 2 is human complement missions as well as AI gives human superpower like embody, interact, amplify. These AI gives. Whereas human complement, sustain, explain, and try. And wave 3 is completely machine only dependent, like it will adapt, it will predict, it will iterate, it will transact. So no intervention of the human being. So this is a completely machine driven. Yeah. So generally, traditionally, what we do, we take the data, we program in some of the software packages or your own program, and you just get the output. That's all we do in traditional things. In the machine learning, you have the data, you have what you do here is you model it. Just like that, you just say, suppose you put the data, you apply the regression, say, when output is there, you just interpret in our traditional way. But you model it, you test it, you train it, then only the output will be generated. If you say the supervised learning, where you have the historical data, you randomly allocate to sampling, 70% to training the data set, generally 30% to testing the data set, use the machine learning technique, you test it, Finally, if you think that the sensitivity is above 80% or 90%, then you leave that model for application in future. Similarly, unsupervised learning, where you will not have any hypothesis. You will ask the data whether you are homogeneous or you are actually having any patterns in you. So that kind of scenario, if you have, then that is called unsupervised learning. You will not tell the computer anything. Computer only generates the patterns using some distances, some cluster analysis, and so on and so forth. So now coming to statistics, these are the four or five techniques which 80% of your AI and big data must use or have been using this. For example, principal component analysis, discriminant function analysis, cluster analysis, and logistic regression or regression models. Fine. So you know that I need not tell you about principal component analysis elaborately, but principal component analysis is basically used to reduce the dimension of the data. For example, in a big database or big data technique, you have 200 to 300 parameters or variables or columns, which we call you have availability. But how do you interpret all the 300 parameters? It is not only difficult, but also impossible to do that. So if I have a technique where all the 300 or 200 variables can I reduce into 10 or 5 linear combinations, which in turn, those combinations will explain the variability of those 200 or 300 variables, I am successful. So that is the technique which is mostly very, very frequently used, this PCA, principal component analysis, which will reduce the dimension. And if at all, the variables are related. So this is also in the computer science or the AI, they call as a unsupervised learning, where they reduce the dimension. So this reduction of the dimension is not only for the reducing the data to have a minimum number of linear combinations to work further, but also it will removes the multicollinearity, where you have large number of variables. There is a possibility of multicollinearity that also will be nullified with this technique. So I think the chairman is also worked on gene expressions. He must have worked. He must have definitely used very many times the gene expression analysis, and also MRI CT scans. There are so many MRI CT. Each scan has so many parameters to tell. There we use the PCA, and also high dimensionality of pharmacological data in drug development. They must use this PCA. So you have the data, you have the features means variables, and they are related. And finally, we will convert into one combination like, principal component one. Here it is explaining 68% of the variation. 32% it is not taking because it is minimizing the dimensionality. Generally, 60 plus percentage generally accept that and people go with principal component analysis. So if at all you have 100 variables, the 10 variables you have converted into linear combinations, and those 10 variables are showing that they could explain 68% of the variation. That means that using 10 variables, 68% of the 200 variables variation is being explained, which is acceptable as far as the theory is concerned. Similarly, cluster analysis, basically this we call it as supervised learning, where we don't have any hypothesis. We ask the data, hey, are you homogeneous or you have any patterns? If the data is not related within those variables or within themselves, then there will be only one cluster is formed. That means that the entire data is homogeneous. Now, if at all, for example, you see this, there are three clusters or three patterns are formed. The very purpose of this cluster analysis is within the cluster the variation is minimum, and between the cluster the variation is significantly different. Therefore, if you see these clusters, the three homogeneous groups, when compared to cluster one, there is a homogeneous group. When compared to cluster two, cluster one, there are two heterogeneous groups. Then again, the researcher should go and see why the clusters have formed, why the cluster one is different from cluster two, and cluster two is different from cluster three. These are the things which you have to explore and find out. Then, you know that how to conduct a cluster analysis, and you all know that is based on the distances. There are many distances, and among them, Mahalanobis distance is very widely used because it is also takes care of the the scale. For example, height is in centimeters, weight is in kgs, so on and so forth. Then it will convert into jet scores kind of a thing. Therefore, Mahalanobis, this is where the scales are invariant. Then for that situation, we use this way. This is the main ingredient for the cluster analysis. Fine. So I just not. So this is the one which everyone knows, a dendrogram. So this is the graphical representation of how your clusters are formed. So based on this, if you increase the distance, the clusters will get minimized. So based on your requirement, we can change from 2 clusters to 3 clusters to 4 clusters, or 6 clusters to 2 clusters also we can do. So this is the visual representation of your cluster analysis or pattern recognition. So many of you who are also working in the what you call the genome data or bioinformatics data, this is the cluster analysis where that is the main ingredient for them to identify the gene clusters or bioinformatics they use for the patterns. So this software they use for the patterns of the bioinformatics data or genomic data, but this is based on only cluster analysis. So the cluster analysis gives them patterns. So this is the way they get. So the upper one is the clusters which has formed. This is the genomic data, and based on that, they identify the genome structures or genome groups, and they will see why those genomes are formed. Fine. Again, coming to, I was telling to Fisher's linear discriminant function, which is very widely used for supervised learning, because the discriminant function is very useful in terms of discriminating 2 sets of data with some problem. For example, you have a normal children, you have undernourished children. Those children are defined with 10 or 15 parameters, their age, their gender, their income, so on and so forth. Then coming back to the end, using these 15 parameters, can I discriminate a child as a normal or undernourished based on these 15 parameters after the model is being fit? So this would be very useful in the public health scenario where you take those 15 parameters and predict the child whether he is going to be undernourished or he is going to be normal. So the discrimination only succeeds when there is no contamination. For example, you have discriminated the data, but if you see the figure, some of the red are gone to green, some of the blue gone to green, and also some of the blue came to red. So these are all the contaminations. So the minimum the contamination, the better the model is. Generally, here also, we take more than 60% contamination, and means 40% contamination is okay. But when we are dealing with health, we should be very pretty careful. Therefore, we go even more than 90% of the what you call correct classification using the linear discriminant function. Then, so again, the logistic regression you all know, where the binary variable, the dependent variable is always yes or no type, having the disease, not having the disease. So whenever you are using a health data, this is used as a supervised learning. Most of the health related data for a supervised learning, they use for logistic regression. Then, if we see the relevance, what is the relevance? Foundation of AI and ML ensures data quality and interpretability, enables generalization and evidence-based policy. And what is the evaluation? So accuracy, sensitivity, and ROC curves that are being used as it is, which were using our regular conventional analysis, and validation of cross-validation, bootstrapping is also what we were using without AI and ML, and also uncertainty and causal inference. These are the we have to use that. What are the challenges? There are volume, variety, velocity, veracity. Those are the challenge. Bias, fairness, and transparency is the issue. Skill gap in statistics and plus AI in integration is also the challenge. So, what are the, especially when you're talking about health data, what are the, what you call patient physician trust are the challenges? For example, regulation, evidence and bias, automation, ethics and liability, reimbursement, equity. So these are some of the biases, some of the challenges also you get with when you are using the AI. So, for example, if we see big data and artificial intelligence in health and ICMR initiative, we also took some initiative when in 2003 when I was there, and now also they are continuing. So we have called for the what you call projects for the undertake this. And before that, Akshay Patra. Many of you know Akshay Patra, where the Indian non-profit organization. The vision is no child in India shall be deprived of education because of hunger. So they have been giving lakhs, I mean, millions of food, millions of what you call meals for children. So they found that there is a lack of automation and a lot of things have been wasted. So then one of the Bangalore company using the AI, they have fixed the problem, and by virtue of that, they are able to give with the same food which the same expenditure which they are making, 2 lakhs more meals are feed to 2 lakh more children using this automation using the AI. This is one of the very successful artificial intelligence story for Akshay Patra. Then there are many initiatives like Lancet Oncology recently published one of the first randomized control trial of AI-supported mammography and AI-driven progress in infectious diseases, automation of evidence synthesis, initiatives such as the Bill Melinda Gates Foundation. They have asked for a global grant challenge, seek innovation uses of. Now the chairman was telling that large language models for the low-income countries. So this is ICMR scenario. We have asked for the projects and 459 proposals we have received from. We have done a very great, I mean, very rigorous screening, and we gave 18 projects of diagnostics, clinical care, therapeutics, and preventive screening, etc. Epidemiology, and about 10 crores were given. I think the projects are almost in the verge of completion. Probably they will come up with some AI applications for health. So the critical component of AI is prediction and is centrally input into a decision making. Always prediction takes information which you have called data and use it to generate information you don't have. That's what the prediction is. So this big data analytics and how to use them for analytics like a descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and as well as prescriptive. This is the sequence of things which you have to do. So, if implemented responsibly, AI can benefit society. However, as is the case with most emerging technologies, there is a real risk that commercial and state use has a detrimental impact on human rights. Therefore, I can go back to what I call purusharthas, like four pursuits of life. One is artha, and modern adaptation is economics, employment, and geopolitics. Karma, psychology and emotions. Dharma, ethics. Moksha, liberation. So now, dharma in AI is very important, ethics. So therefore, what happens if there is no ethics? Because I will tell you what happens. Sorry. So what are the risks of AI? So prediction from a AI can lead to discrimination. AI is ineffective when data is sparse. Incorrect data can fool prediction. Prediction machines involve in a trade-off between individuals and the organization. Prediction machines can be interrogated, manipulated for destructive behavior. Okay. So when you have the more speed, generally, you have the less accuracy. More autonomy, you have less control. More data, less privacy. These are the AI risks which we can have. So therefore, how to mitigate that? Therefore, there is a need for ethical guidelines. So ICMR thought of this, and we there is a group has been formed with NIMS as the nodal, and ICMR is the main head office with us. And the final draft of ethical guidelines, AI in biomedical research and healthcare has been approved by the committee and is hosted in the ICMR website. The guidelines covers application of AI in healthcare, ethical principles for AI in healthcare, guiding principles for stakeholders, governance of AI technology used for healthcare and research, ethical checklist for artificial intelligence for health. So, sorry, sir. Yeah, this is the book which is available online, and just a minute. This book, Ethical Guidelines for Application of Artificial Intelligence, in biomedical research and healthcare, which is available in the ISMR website as well as in Google. So this has given the guidelines, and WHO also came out with ethical guidelines. But in this Indian scenario, this is the only book available right now. It's not moving. Yeah. So looking for the view mode. Just a minute. Yeah. Is it visible now?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, we start with the statistical theory, tabulation and average, probability, so on and so forth, evidence-based meta-analysis, big data, and AI. Now, previously, evidence-based meta-analysis was sitting on the top, on the head. Now, big data and AI sat on the head because of its features and its the more number of users which has thought that this has the better edge over this. So, how artificial intelligence is changing the scientific publication? So, nowadays, people are so dependent on ChatGPT. Suppose a paper comes for a review, many people are just asking the ChatGPT to review, and same thing they are producing now. Then now the journals have come out with a note that it should not be done with through ChatGPT. That also they will check it. So language editing, proofreading, data analysis, interpretation, personalized recommendations, enhanced accessibility and translation, and content generation. These are all the things which you have. So then people have some questions about this AI, what happens? While some of us are technophiles and celebrates the possibility of future, and other technophobes who mourns the passing of good old days. Every time we say our days mein aisa hota tha, so we used to we use the calculator and do manually, so that we have a lot of that will go into our brain, that will stick, that will not be erased. Whereas now you are saying, so that is a kind of, any transition is like that. So then there are some quick data debate on AI. Will there be a jobs? Yes. Will this generate more inequality? Perhaps. Will a few large companies control everything? It depends. Will countries engage in race to the bottom, making and forfeit our privacy and security to give their domestic companies a competitive edge? Some will do. Not all, but many will do. This is the scenario of the AI in future. So thank you very much for our patient hearing. And I will be subjected to questions now. This is what I thought, because I am dealing with a very dry subject of statistics, and people think that the very fascinating AI. I want to come in a link between these two. In this process, I also might have become some dry in between. Thank you very much for your patient listening, and thank you the committee for considering me this. I'm really honored to be here and delivering this talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vishnu. That was a wonderful talk. It was not a dry talk at all. I think you covered various aspects of both AI. You also touched upon the technical aspects, and then you also touched upon the ethical aspects. So I will open the floor to questions, and while the questions are flowing in, there are already a couple of questions that have come in, and I will go over them. But maybe I wanted to get started by asking you about, given that there are a lot of these AI tools that have come in, and it seems that there's no looking back. That will, in different fields, that will remain future, right? Like there will be ChatGPT, and there will be other tools like that they're not going to go away. How do you think that what is the impact of this on medical statistics research? And for India, what do you think is where does the future lie? Like what is your recommendation, given that you've spent a lot of time in the field, and I'm sure you've seen different waves of machine learning and AI that you talked about come in and go. What do you think is in store for India for the next couple of years, the next 10 years maybe?
Thank you. Very difficult question, but I'll try to answer that. We are the generation where we have started our career giving the computer of matrix inversion of 20 by 20 or 20 by 30, giving in the night and collecting in the morning. 12 hours it was used to take at the time. Two, now the present on the palm top, we have some 12 GB, 13 GB of RAM or 1 terabyte of. So that is the scenario we have. So as you rightly asked me the question, so we should not be cynical about it. Actually, even the chat GPT. So if at all you are, suppose you take yourself or myself. So I am having some doubt or some um, change I want to, or something which I did not understand in the linear discriminant function. Basically, we are definitely aware of its theoretical aspect of it, why it is used, what are the assumptions that it should follow, because we are aware of that. So at that juncture, suppose if I ask something with the chat GPT or whatever it is, probably that is I'm not cynical about that. Definitely that is, I can definitely tell that is also a very equity oriented tool, because previously the people who are coming from villages, they are not good at in English, so writing a letter or writing a draft or whatever it is. So that is a great tool for them to help. Otherwise, they have to run to some other either payment or whatever it is. They should get their letters. They're done with them. But now, if they just give their view or their what you call the meaning of that, then that automatically creates. That is one advantage, especially for the equity point of view, where the people who did not study in English medium, but their mother tongue, those people definitely get benefited by this. So, as you rightly asked, uh, but statistics, according to me, you should have definitely the knowledge of its theory to some extent and also its assumptions and what it does. So if you know that in between for the for the help or for the what you call for updating the your whatever knowledge, whatever it is, if you go to ChatGPT and whatever the browser you want, but definitely you'll get some help. But why I am telling you, being a statistician, you are in a position to see or to check whether the one which you have got is correct or not. So that is that. Otherwise, if you are not a domain expert, you just ask as if you are asking to abracadabra type, and no, you just ask something, it will do something. You take that it is exactly correct. So many times, even I checked with many times means not very many times. There were 5, 6 instances. Even ChatGPT gave me wrong answers. So therefore, that you can only avoid when you are a domain expert. So that's what I'm saying. The statistician with his domain knowledge, learning these things, and definitely he has a bright future. But whenever you rise to the occasion and become big man, don't forget statistics. The people say that I'm a data scientist. You also they say that I'm also a statistician. Am I clear to you?
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful answer. Yeah, I think that happens to a lot of us. I think the central theme of what you're suggesting is that don't leave your basics. Like we should all know our basics in statistics, and
Exactly.
it's we should use these tools. But of course, you can only be the best judge if you know those basics essentially.
Yeah,
So I want to open the floor to
Saket, Dr.
Yeah.
Saket, can we request Dr. Rao to close this presentation so that we can see the
Sure.
faces?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Dr. Rao, maybe you want to unshare your slides so that we can see
Okay.
the
Sorry,
audience.
I should have done
No
that.
problem. Yeah, no problem at all.
Just a minute, please. Just a minute.
Great.
Yeah. Okay.
It got unshared? Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Right. I think there was one question. I will just
There were
read it.
2 questions in the chat box.
Yeah. So I'll just, I think one was a question and kind of, I guess the other one was a comment. So this question comes from Dr. Anita. She was asking if the large amount of data which is generated through social media, it's not really accessible to a common person. If they want to work with this data from social media, you have to either use data from Kaggle or GitHub. So if they are interested in applying ML and DL models on Indian data, what is the way? So I think it's a more general question. I think social media probably is one aspect of it, but yeah.
Yeah, this is actually for Indian scenario. There are some for example, you take NFHS data that is available on once the survey is over, report has come, it is available online and you can do that. Some of the specific data, even ICMR data, you cannot directly get it. You have to ask for permission what you want to do. what are your objectives, because and what type of data and which project you think that will fulfill your thesis, whatever it is. Then you have to write and your analysis plan and to the DG ICMR. Then they review that, and if they think that you have a point to prove, then they share the data with anonymization. So again, why they are worried about is because already the project has completed and they gave some conclusions based on the project. Suppose if you give the conclusions which are completely contrary to what they have given, because of various reasons, you might be wrong, correct also, but then that will actually create problems. Therefore, it should be always in consultation with the office. If they give the data, then they also have the say, and they also look into your results so that you can use for your research, as well as the results are comparable and harmonious.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think a lot of data does exist. It's just that we have to find the right
Yeah.
channel to find it.
Yeah.
I think Dr. Ashik Bhatt had a comment, which is data is considered intellectual property, and its use for analysis requires proper collaboration and acknowledgement, which ties down to the point that we were making.
Yeah.
While in some cases data may be made freely available, there the ethical use and formal collaboration are essential to ensure transparency, right? So this is kind of the comment that you also made. So those are in line. Any other questions from the audience? I have a couple of more questions, but I want to leave it for the audience first.
I have raised my hand, so whenever you
Okay.
Please,
Very-
Dr. Kochhar, please go ahead.
So,
Sir, please, sir.
Dr. Kochhar, please go ahead.
Okay.
hello,
I've
this is
got-
Bhargav Nandram here from Massachusetts.
Okay.
I have one question for you. I know your talk was very nice. I like it. I mean, but the thing is, you have a lot of data you're dealing with. So I want to know, I know you mentioned this, but it's how do you protect the data, sensitivity in the data, when you have to deal with all these data? That's one question. I have several questions, but I'll ask one, and I'll allow other people to ask questions too.
Yeah. So that's what even ICMR, they have created a data center, and they are following all the what all the principles of data, including data security, safety, as well as a kind of a firewall which has been given and anonymized. The data has been anonymized. So with the permission only you can get the data. So there are some of the precautions they are taking while disseminating the data or while giving the data to some other people for the research. Therefore, the data which you get in open sources, some are GitHub like that. You can get the data, but that can be used for your training kind of. If you want to learn AI models using AI or Python or so, you can use that, and that data is anyhow anonymized. So you apply on that. You build your strength on AI programming and AI methodology. So once you know that when you are applying for on a real data, so real data has all the principles of security, safety, sharing with, so all these things which we have to follow before both the parties undertake the kind of analysis which they want. Am I clear, sir?
Yes, good, sir. Yeah, very nice.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Bhargav. Yeah, Dr. Kochhar, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I have a question which will be slightly different. Firstly, I should congratulate Dr. Rao to give such an excellent exposition of the AI, starting from the alphabets and ending with the creation of poetry. So my question is that of late I have been associated more with the economic data. So for example, in the national accounts, we have got the data of the prices, and the prices are not generally available immediately. It takes quite some time. And particularly with national accounts, the base year is not revised every year as the requirement of the UN system of national accounts, saying that data are not available. And this I have been listening for last 25 years. I don't know how many more years, maybe I don't survive. They will say that data are not available and not do that job. Now listening to you, I feel that it can be done provided you answer my few questions. in the data from medical, you have an assumption which is rightly valid that the data is normal distribution. So from Gaussian, you can talk so many things. Unfortunately, in the economic data, it is not always normal distribution. I know as a statistics student that if I take the samples, so taking samples from a data which is not normal, if you take random samples, that data will tend to be normal, the central limit theorem. But then what kind of caution I should take? Suppose I use the data of the prices, let us say, of various commodities. There are how many commodities in the country? I'm not talking of a company. I'm talking of the economy, say India. So how many commodities are available and what kind of prices are available and what kind of quantities are available and how frequently they are available. So how much time I have to wait to get the valid results. These are the questions which are bothering me. And I was against so long using the models or the artificial intelligence for the national accounts, because national accounts is accounts. So it should be based on the data, which is based on the company's account, which are fully audited and not, random data collected. But I think we have to deviate to answer the questions. So can you pinpoint or direct me to some kind of reference? What kind of precaution I need to take if I use the economic data and use artificial intelligence to generate the data of the, let us say, previous year. Current year data, of course, will be a astronomy, but the previous year or the previous year. Because if I use the chain-based index, I need the data of the previous year. So I can build the chain base every year. If I want a fixed base, I can always multiply the chain base and get the index. So could you advise me whether I can use or there are lots of dangers? Thank you very much for the long question.
So thank you, sir. You gave questions as well as answers to me. Thank you for that. Uh, Actually, the when we the econometric data, the methods which we know are very fair enough to do the analysis. You know how to fit the model, whether it is not following normal distribution. You know that. Generally, according to me, maybe Chetan may correct me if it is. In our scenario, whenever we want to make a model which is what you call automized, as well as I want to test the model and use it in the field without any problem. The same model, I go on using that and get the results. That is where the AI comes into picture. Because when you have the kind of a automating the things with the model and you are getting the output through that without doing further things, just I tested the model, trained the model, and I found that it's very much validated and very much strong. Then I use the model to get my results, so that the results are very quick, and very much automated. Everything, all the ingredients of modern technology is there. As you rightly told, if the data is not following normality and assumptions are not being followed. So those things also we can inbuild the technology in the AI model, whether it also tests for the whether it's following the normality and what are the assumptions. If it is not following, it also have the corrective mechanism to do that. So everything from the model fitting to the testing and training data, we can do the AI. So for that, you have to write the code, you have to do the expert system for that. Then the very your intervention, even for the assumption checking, is also not necessary. So that's you can build that model that is very much useful, provided it is tested, trained in a very good manner with a good result of 90% accuracy also. So am I clear, sir?
Kick.
Sir.
Yeah. I also have a question. Chaliye. Let me wait. Rai Chaudhary, you want to ask first?
No,
Yeah. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
So Dr. Padam Singh is also my
Yeah.
my guru.
Yes, Vishnu,
Ji,
congratulations.
thank you, sir.
Um, we listen to you, and every time you are so excellent. Anyway,
Thank you. Sir.
I have a concern as a statistician. Now, what is the future of statistics in the era of AI? And last month, I was in a meeting. I am a retired person doing consultancy and all that. And somebody commented in that meeting, sir, we don't need any advice from the statisticians now. We get all the answers from chat GPT. Sample size, we get the answer. Please, data को feed कर दीजिए, we get the analysis. We get even the interpretations. Now, that is my concern. We had challenge from so-called informatics initially, data science thereafter, and now this AI and machine learning.
Yes,
So,
sir.
what is the future of statistics in this era of AI?
So statistics tested since 50
हमारे
like
इंस्टीट्यूट का नाम ही बदल दिया भाई.
yeah, yes, exactly, sir. So the statistics, I mean, stood very strongly even in the computer developmental stage, like 70s, 80s. Say, abhi tak, abhi. So initially, we'll definitely have some jhatka hota hai, but definitely without statistics, probably at least next decade, I don't think AI can be, in a good shape. But the problem with this, not with the AI people, but with the statisticians. They don't want to be called as a statistician. They always tell about, I'm a data scientist, I'm AI, I am a big data analyst. So therefore, we have to preserve your identity, and you also acquire the new knowledge. And with the both culmination of these two, and you should grow. So, sir, as you rightly told, the chat GPT sample size, somewhere I am reviewing. They got the sample size through ChatGPT, but they finalized and they did the survey, and finally they reported it, and report has come. For the two sample t-test, they used the pre and post sample size.
Yes.
So they didn't know, because ChatGPT gave, and very sure enough that it has given the right answer. So therefore, that is the danger if at all you are not a domain expert. So that always domain expertise plays a very important role, sir. So when you do a mistake which is very costly, then people will realize that so the domain expertise is very much needed. Of course, it is a tool for you to do the things.
Hello,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes, I want to ask something, Dr.
Yes,
Aditi.
ma'am, please.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
go ahead.
So first thing, I would like to congratulate you. It was really, and I would like to answer in context of what discussion has been going on. So I am working in the field of machine learning and text mining, basically, and specifically in biomedical text mining. So I would I would like to share that don't worry, because while working in the biomedical text mining, I realized that just putting this chat GPT or LLMs, we have a large research gap because we cannot analyze and interpret it in a good way.
Exactly.
I thought that a good understanding of the statistics helped me a lot in order to understand the things. So I
Yes.
would really want to say that it is the era, the people who are good statisticians. I'm really honored that
Yeah.
I have been in a group of these well-known statisticians. So this is very important. And I have been working with the domain experts also in addition to the statisticians from the biomedical domain. That has also helped me a lot.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask one question.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
while yes, so the comments are that actually it is a very in short, I could say that it was a very wonderful talk, and it is very important that in this era of machine learning and AI, if the domain experts and the statisticians, if the three can come together, that can be very wonderful thing, and that will survive, and
Yes,
that will
ma'am.
be where we can ensure that we will be getting the accurate results and all these things. So yes, so my question is that while we are working in the machine learning, most of the time we are doing with the supervised learning. But of course, we know that there is a lot of problem in getting the label data. And nowadays, there are also things that you have zero-shot learning and semi-supervised learning. You can increase the data size and you can go for the label or benchmark testing. But still, many a times it happens that the benchmark data set is not available. Look, because again, then if you're confined to a particular problem where you get a label data, that is fine. But we can think of a problem where the problem is valid, but the label data is not available. So most of the time, what happens when we do not work, what I am realizing as a supervisor, when I've been guiding the students or my students are working, we realize when the problem is on the benchmark data set. So problem is very well defined. So we get very publications in a better way. But in the unsupervised learning, we get better chance to explore the things. But whenever we go for the publication, there are always the question marks regarding that it is not on the benchmark data set. So sometimes we say that we have validated it with respect to the experts and all these things. But still, maybe what we have done honestly or not, the person who is reading the review, they do not know how much efforts we have put on. So when we are doing any unsupervised learning type of things, so what are the statistical things that we can focus on so that to authenticate that whatever we have done is statistically correct, because we do not have the notion of the testing and all these things.
Yes, ma'am. Basically, even unsupervised is a pattern recognition mostly, because you will ask the data whether you are homogeneous or you have any patterns. So for that, mostly whether for dimension reduction के लिए PCA we use, and for a kind of what you said, no, unlabeled data used for a cluster analysis. So if you use the cluster analysis and identify the clusters or patterns, and you also identified why the pattern has come, then I don't think any question, I mean, generally, the questions, the minimum questions you may be asked, because you identified the pattern using the unsupervised learning, and also you found out the reasons for that pattern using your intuitive analysis, whatever it is. Then definitely that question which they had, how we have arrived at, that can be minimized or that can be removed. That's what I feel.
And when it is not a benchmark data set, sometimes the people say that they get it manually annotated.
So
and
what
then
do you
we
mean
do
by
it.
benchmark, ma'am? What do you mean by benchmark?
Benchmark means actually in the AI, what we say that whenever we are doing supervised learning, we have the data as well as their labels. So that we call as a benchmark data set. For every supervised learning, you say that benchmark data set is essential. But many a times what happens that sometimes in open domain, actually many benchmark data sets are available. So if we do on that, it is fine.
Even
but sometimes people get it manually annotated and then they say that they publish the data sets. So how authentic it is when we are sending a paper? We sat with the expert and we manually got it manually annotated.
Ma'am, actually,
So
even
does it make sense or not?
unsupervised learning also, it is not blind data. Suppose we have 10 parameters, weight, height, arm circumference, head circumference, chest circumference, like that. We are not considering a variable as a variable. We are taking a vector of that and comparing with other data, other subject. So finally, the outcome which we get, the pattern which we get, is a culmination of all these 10 variables only. It doesn't mean that it doesn't have any variable names. It has. But we are not telling the computer to have some kind of hypothesis. Suppose undernourished, normal, that kind of hypothesis is not there. And entire matrix of data, whether you are homogeneous or heterogeneous. From then again, you're going back and finding why the pattern has come. So therefore, if you identify the pattern, why it has come using the other methods, then I don't think there will not be many questions that will be asked.
Thank you. Thank you.
With the permission of the chair, I would like to make a few comments on the ongoing discussion, and also that we are shooting off time limits. So, just quick comments. So based on all the discussions, really good discussions we are having after such a nice presentation. So if we try to summarize, we have at least see that we have more of the questions on the data side and on the how statistics will look in the age of data, AI and ML methods being used. So just from giving some examples from applications in health. So two areas where statistics is going to get even more important in the era of AI ML, which we think is one is the data part, that is getting good quality data, ensuring good quality data curation. So that in itself is a huge task, and that is something that is one of the major challenges with AI in healthcare is facing as of now, because it is the most difficult part to have to curate, to have such large volume of good quality data sets for training such models, which have been raised by many participants as of now. And the second thing which will make statistics very much relevant is who will evaluate those models and how will we evaluate those models. And we have to have very nice statistical designs to be evaluating those models. So these two major challenges, which are the roadblocks of application of AI in healthcare, are going to be solved only we have very robust statistical techniques to challenge them. So I think what we need is to think further and how to improvise all the learnings we have from statistics in the applications of AI. So that was just my comments. Sir, over to you, Dr. Sakib.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Saket, Dr. Saket, I'm sorry to disturb. My Zoom dropped and I could not listen whether my question was answered, and if it is answered, where could I see that?
So yeah, it was answered. I think we couldn't see you.
Yeah, because my Zoom dropped. I don't know, something
Oh.
It
happened.
has been recorded, sir. We will perhaps
Okay.
share the recording with you.
Okay,
Sir.
thank you. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Sir,
Thank you,
one more message, Dr. Chetan, I've seen this way. I like that message by Sunjaria Minji. In AML, there is no free lunch theorem. Therefore, to suit a given data, given one algorithm may not work for all big data, given variety and veracity. It's a good one.
Yeah, that's very true.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Deo, and thank you, Dr. Vishnu. I think this was a wonderful presentation. I think we are coming close to the end since we have limited time. So I'll pass it off again to Dr. Vishal, and I think he'll pass it on to for the final remarks for thanking to Dr. Dandapani. Over to you, Dr. Vishal.
Thank you so much, Vishnuvardhan Rao sir and Dr. Saket, for such a mind engaging and illuminating session. And so many comments and uh, questions are coming, and all are so relevant. So that shows that how interesting this topic is and how relevant this topic is for today. And as statisticians, we must all come together and think about what kind of changes in curriculum maybe which is required. We have the statistical foundational base. We need to incorporate more of computational skills into the curriculum so that statisticians are more equipped with the computational part of it as well. So I would request Dr. Dandapani, who is the Vice President of the Society, to give a formal vote of thanks before we close the session.
Before that, I would like to
Yeah.
speak for just 1 minute
Yes,
before
sir.
I hand over to Dandapani. It's my pleasant duty to confess today here that my purpose is served by organizing this particular seminar. The presentation was very, very simplistic in a very simple way, starting from very beginning to the modern era. Everything was covered very nicely. So congratulations to Professor Rao for making a very wonderful presentation. The second was that it generated a lot of very lucid and informative discussions, and ably managed by Dr. Sake Chaudhary. So I'm indeed grateful to all the people who have joined today and participated in the deliberations of this particular event. And to Dr. Sake Chaudhary, that I'm so pleased that he has joined our family now by chairing this session, and we will look forward to more of his, expertise in managing the things in the society, because this society is an Indian society, and it's our collective responsibility to ensure that this society grows and serves the purpose with which it was formed. Personally speaking, to me, this has been a very pleasant experience because it served the purpose with which I organized this session. And one line message which emerged from this whole discussion and the presentation was that statistics and statisticians will always remain important. They cannot be hand washed. Okay, so
Exactly.
that is the message, and I'm very happy that this message came out of this talk, and it came out very loudly. We cannot ignore statistics and statisticians, come what may, AI or ML or whatever happens, but statistics has a very important role to play. I like that comment that there cannot be a set of tools and a set of data, and you just map the tools over the data. So it has to be a problem, and the problem has to be solved by using a proper statistics. And at times, Not at times, every time you have to do research in statistics to come up with a novel solution to solve the problem. So that's a big challenge for all the statisticians which are here. Well, people have been talking a lot of social media data and all that. There are a couple of problems with that. First is that it is not representative sample. It's from a very particular group of people from where this data is generated. So it's not true representative of the entire population. Then second thing is it is a non-randomized data. So using a non-randomized data and a non-representative sample, so you have to polish your statistical techniques like calibrated estimation and all those type of things to get a proper answer. Otherwise, it will all be an approximate thing. So it has been a very wonderful session, very illuminating. So I thank you, both the speaker and the chair, and all the audience who joined us for this. So over to Dandapani for your final vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. At the outset, it is a really wonderful presentation by our speaker, Dr. Vishnuvardhan Rao. Thank you very much, sir. I think as Professor Gupta was also talking about, there are one or two groups are there where many statisticians are there. I think you are also there, sir. Initial talks were about whether we should rename the Department of Statistics to Statistical Data Science, all these things they were talking about as if even Department of Statistics has no relevance today. But I think you have made a very valid point that many of them are not knowing because of the use of different terminology and different ways of expressing the same thing. But you have given a very wonderful talk. I hope all the participants of this webinar will be benefited from your talk. Thank you very much. And I also thank the chair, Dr. Saket Chaudhary, for ably conducting this session and also participating in a lively discussion. I also thank all our senior, like Dr. Kulsheshra, Dr. Padam Singh, Dr. Balgovind Nandram, all seniors who are taken their time and participated in our activity. I think the Society of Statistics Computer Applications, Society of Statistics Computer Applications is largely benefited by all of you supporting us in all our endeavor. And at the end, let me, whoever have registered, we have the recording of this session. I'll be sending them the link from where they can download it. I'll separately send it through all those who have registered for this. Separately, I will send them. So thank you very much. And now the webinar is officially closed. So if you want to interact, we can open it for some more time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Is it?
Yeah.
I just want to, sir, please, sir.
I just wanted to say thank you very much and big thanks to Dr. Gupta to save statisticians. I mean, the statisticians should remain at the top. That's a very good thing. Thank you very much.
Sir, from my side, I'm really honored to be here and really thoroughly enjoyed. And this is not only gave the opportunity to present, but I can see my mentors and my seniors online and I felt very happy. And also, as usual, I have a great respect to VK Gupta sir, though we did not work together, but since I joined in Delhi, he was very supportive and very always tells kind words about me. Thank you, sir. And my young colleague, Dr. Vishal. And also now we got a new friend in the form of Dr. Saket. I think Saket will bother you. I will bother you in coming days or months. Thank you very much for the participants who are very patient enough to listen and hear the entire thing. Thank you so much. And I'm really elated to be in this session, giving a talk to you all. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Is it over, sir? Then when?
Yeah. It is over.
Closing down. Thank you.
Namaskar. Bye.
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 Bye. Thank you. Vishal, can I end?
Yes.
Can I end the meeting?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
handling all that. Yeah.
Thank you very much.